Sure, my marriage is horrible, but I've given it the best years of my life. Welcome to Friday Fallacy. This week we're looking at the sunk cost fallacy. The sunk cost fallacy is when we consider already invested resources in making decisions. That is, rather than only considering the future costs and benefits, we also consider what has already been spent. This is not a sound way of arguing, as any unrecoverable resources are irrelevant to a present decision. That we may have already invested heavily in a course of action in no way means that continuing is a reasonable course. That our previous investment may not have paid off in no way means that we should not continue. Some examples of the sunk cost fallacy. I better stay in this hand as I've already put so much into the pot. We've already spent 20 million on this project and that'd all be wasted if we stopped now. If their deaths are to mean anything, we must continue this war. The first Twilight book was awful, but since I read it, I may as well read the next one. Not all considerations of past commitments are the sunk cost fallacy. The key consideration when making a decision is the present situation. However, it's not always possible to know precisely the current situation, and our previous commitments can be a useful proxy. For example, when considering whether to repair one's car or buy a new one, it is important to know what condition your current car is in. But this can be hard to judge if you aren't mechanically skilled, so a useful estimate is how much you've spent on its maintenance. Deciding to stay with your current car because it's likely to continue running well is not the sunk cost fallacy, even though it may be based on how much you've already invested in it. It may seem counterintuitive that our past investment of resources is irrelevant to current decisions, but it is true. The only thing relevant is the future costs and benefits and the present situation. Of course, the situation that you are in may well be affected by your previous commitments, but it is only the present situation that is directly relevant. So past decisions to invest money in a project may have brought us closer to success, but the only relevant question is whether the additional money required is justified by the potential benefits. If we are sufficiently close to success, then this will be an easy choice. If not, then the sunk costs are irrelevant. Sunk costs don't just refer to financial commitments, but also extend to emotional investment. To argue that previous commitments, time spent in a relationship, or effort put into some project, would be wasted if we don't continue, this is committing the sunk cost fallacy. The key point is that these investments have already been spent and cannot be recovered, whether we continue with the current action or not. The only consideration is what our past commitment has gained us in terms of our current situation. If the only thing we have to show for our past investment of time and effort is a broken relationship or a failed business, then the fact that we've invested heavily is not rationally relevant. In conclusion, the sunk cost fallacy is when we consider unrecoverable resources when making decisions. Until next time, keep your fallacies to yourself.